Hello and welcome to the Lightworker Global Call to Action and the Luna Holistic Podcast. I am so pleased that you are here, whether you're joining live or later. It's amazing, really, having all of you wonderful, compassionate people engaged in whatever creative work that you are in, or just being here is phenomenal and amazing. And I really love supporting all of you on this completely world-changing transformational adventure that we've all been collectively shoved into. And so tonight, we'll be sharing resources and tools to help you take those little guided action steps along your path and journey, and just bring a little bit of light in your own life and into your family and community, and maybe even to the greater world. Who knows how far those beautiful ripples will take you. Before we get going, I just want to send a message of the deepest gratitude to all the Indigenous peoples of the world, the Indigenous peoples that are the guardians of the land that we are sitting on right now. Thank you so very much. And if you are an Indigenous person, thank you and welcome, welcome everyone. My name is Geneva Robbins. I'm a Reiki master here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and I've been doing Reiki and teaching meditation for many years. I wrote a book, and I've really done a whole pile of big, brave, vulnerable things, one teeny light, tiny little step at a time. So, and with a whole pile of reasons not to take those brave little guided steps. So there's always a reason of why your inner critic will want you to play small, and I've heard them all inside just between my 2 ears. So and I share a lot of that work with you um, through Reiki classes, and I've got a magnetic manifesting with the Energetic 8 business course. And I'll get into that a little bit more as we go on. But I've got a very lovely, beautiful helper on the line with me tonight. Bia Bootsma is a Reiki master here in Calgary. And yeah, say hi, Bia.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for doing this, Geneva. This is great.
Thank you. Thank you for being here with me. It's absolutely wonderful to have you here, because just for all of you at home, it's way easier to lead a brave, creative, bold life when you've got friends who are also leading brave, bold, creative lives. So that's why I have Bia here with me, so she can energetically hold my hand as as we do these brave, creative, bold things together. So thank you for being here, Bia. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. This is awesome.
Yeah. So the thing that always helps me through all of the things, through times of crisis, struggle, emotions, any place I am in, the place that I always return to is meditation, and in particular, grounding meditation. Um, Grounding is an energetic visualization technique that helps you connect into the energy of the earth below you. The energy of the earth is wise, loving, dependable, supportive, and ancient. And when we visualize connecting into that reservoir of energy, we get this very calming, supportive feeling within us that allows us to do great things. And that's something that you can feel when you go on a nice long forest walk or see a beautiful sunrise or sunset. Connecting in with nature always brings that grounded feeling. And you can also basically mimic that long forest walk with this grounding technique. And the other thing is meditation. Meditation is a key practice that is invaluable no matter what is going on in your life. And whether you're a seasoned meditator or brand new to meditation, there's a couple of things that can really help you and boost your practice. The first is to close your eyes. Because as soon as you close your eyes, you drop out of that fight or flight reaction and you drop into the deeper layers of awareness within you. And you could begin to cultivate that curiosity of what you're feeling right now in this breath and the next one. The other thing that can help you with meditation is breathing slower. When we get scared or nervous, the first thing that happens is we lose our breath. We breathe shallowly and rapidly, and our heart rate races just right along with it. It's hard to consciously tell your heart to slow down and beat in a nice, slow, calm rhythm. But what you can do is you can slow your breathing down, even if it's challenging or difficult. Just closing your eyes, breathing slower will bring you into that restful awareness. And when you're in that state, and then you do that grounding visualization, which I'll guide you through in a second, that just helps you connect in and feel nourished and supported. So thank you for being here. We'll dive right into that grounding meditation. It's from my book, The Secret Art of Happiness, Change Your Life with the Reiki Ideals. And this is also recorded as a standalone web meditation on the lunaholistic.com blog. So if you wanted to go back and listen to the grounding meditation on its own, we've got it there for you as well. But we'll dive into it right now. So you can just very gently, as you listen to my voice, gently closing your eyes, let your breath relax. Place your feet flat on the floor and bring your spine up straight. Just gently become aware of the energy of the earth just below your feet, just below the base of your spine. Notice this vast expanse of energy available to you now. This energy is wise, dependable, and nurturing. Feel the charge and character of this earth energy now. Now become aware of the energy within your body. Observe the difference or similarity between your energy and the earth's energy. Just notice this gently, easily, and with great kindness. Now, easily with your breath, allow the energy of your body and the energy of the earth to balance out. Let the energy reach its own stable resting point, your natural equilibrium. Allow the charges in your body and in the earth to harmonize just easily and gently with your breath. Notice how your breath helps the energy flow. Notice the support, the love, the comfort that's available to you now. There's no need to push or pull the energy here. Just step aside and let it flow. Allow the earth energy to rise up your body right to your crown. Allow any unwanted energy or tension to flow off right through your feet. Let the nurturing presence of Mother Earth be with you now. Surrender all barriers and blockages to her magnificent love. You are so loved. Feel it now. Rest here for a moment. And very gently, you can bring yourself back, gently wiggling your fingers and your toes. Bring your hands down your legs, gently grounding, connecting into the earth below you, just allowing that energy to travel down your legs. Then you can sweep your hands over your aura so the energy field just around your body, with your hands facing your body about a foot or so away from you, just smoothing off that energy all around you, all over your body, and then giving that energy a little pat to seal in the healing. Thank you, everyone. That was so lovely. It's always so nice to meditate together. It creates such a web of connected energy between us all. Whether you're joining now or later, it's amazing how much that collective energy can really connect us all. So I'd love if you're joining live, you can type in the chat what you experienced in that meditation. I'm always curious about how that went for you. You can also share in the comments if you're joining later. And yeah, I would love to hear from you, Bia. How did that meditation go for you?
That was very calming. I think just like the thoughts that were coming up for me during that were just that like when we connect to the earth, we're connecting to ourselves. So that felt really, really nice. And then yeah, I just felt clear and calm, and it's like this like energy of safety comes from plugging in. So it was very lovely. Thank you, Geneva.
Yeah, thank you. What a beautiful thought that when we connect to ourselves or the earth, we connect to ourselves. I love that idea that this we're connecting into the place of ultimate interconnectivity. And yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. Delina said, hello, the meditation always felt wonderful. I felt a breeze of air around my body as if I was like I was a tree. Ah, isn't that nice? What a great, that's a whole other beautiful grounding visualization meditation. Just be the tree. That's wonderful. Thank you. Mona says, I'm feeling very grounded, calm, and aligned. That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, I always like to begin everything with a few moments of meditation because I find it helps me tap into a deeper place that's beyond sort of the surface thoughts or feelings and into something that is steady. And that steady energy is really where the best action comes from. So beyond the surface mind and the clutter there that can be there from all of the things that we're dealing with individually and collectively. Yeah, meditation is always to me, the pathway in. Yeah, thank you. Delina says, very calming and a good vibe all around me. Um, Thank you. And Kayla, I also found that so calming, thinking about the moon and the waxing moon and into the next quarter, approaching the full moon. Nice to rest from a frantic week. Well, that's wonderful. I'm so glad that you were all here. That's fantastic. So the topic for today is take that first step or that tiny step towards your dreams. And yeah, and I really feel like, sometimes our dreams or where we want to be feel so very far from where we are. And maybe even particularly now when life is all topsy-turvy and chaotic and we're disrupted from our routine and the things that would normally make us feel connected and well. It's definitely uh, more challenging than it would normally be. So many things are so much more challenging than they would normally be. But I'm a huge advocate of taking those little tiny steps forward, even if everything is an upheaval. And which might seem odd because so much of the work that I do and what I encourage you to do is like tap into that calmer, restful, deeper space. And I definitely think that is a massive part of it. And I think that is actually the first step. I think the first step is to get connected into your heart, into your soul, into your spirit, into that restful place inside, that, the place within you that is connected to all things. And then from there, asking for a tiny little step forward. And then taking that step, and that, I think, is the way to go from wherever you are to wherever you want to be. But it also is something that's worth doing even if you don't ever get there, because it creates this joyful, purposeful flow and energy and can be a real anchor to move you through difficulty. That's the other thing, is like when we tap into what our hearts need, with the way we want to express ourselves in the world, or the things that we'd like to make or create, even if it's just for our own enjoyment and personal use, like singing in the shower or finger painting or sculpting with clay, things that you're doing not to show anybody in particular, but things that are meaningful for you. Those things are important as well, part of our creative lives. I have always really, really deeply cared about the world and the state of the world, and always felt this deep call to do my part. And it's very easy when the world's in chaos, as it always has been. But now we're very aware of how much chaos the world has been in now and always, that it can be very overwhelming. It can seem like there's just so much to do, and maybe what we want to create is so big that you can get swamped of where do you start, and how do you go forward with there being these really big things that maybe you want to shift within the world, your family, your career, anything that you want to make or create or take on or tackle. But it's really about, I think it's important to have that big vision and that thing that is maybe calling you forward. The things that light you up and inspire you, that give you that spark of joy inside. And then it's also so very important to take these tiny little steps, and to not discount the tiny little movement forward, because our inner critic or ego can really get a hold of us sometimes and derail our progress by saying it's not good enough. So, or it's not big enough, or it's not, comparing our progress to other people's progress. It's all a slippery slope. And the thing that I've done, and what I share with the work that I do is all I ever do is I tune in to the guidance of my heart, my soul, my divine team, and then I ask for the next step. And then there's this feeling, there's this information that floods through, or even if it's just like, I don't know if this is the right step to do or not, but this is just where I feel pulled right now. And so I just do those. And sometimes I get led on little side tangents, and sometimes I get led straight towards what I feel is my goal. But it forward is forward, and it doesn't matter how small or how big that step is. And so I tune in and I ask myself, the deep knowing inside me, what's the next step? And then I take that step. And that can be a very scary process, taking that step towards what you want. It can be just super, super duper scary, because if you want it, then it matters. And so I think innately, sometimes we were afraid of taking those little baby steps that are going to create big change for us, because we know that it'll create a big change for us. And I think the gift of the time we're living in right now is that we're in a constant state. We're just in a state of upheaval. Everything has changed. Everything has shifted, and we've had to let go and surrender so much of our daily lives, and embrace, or at least accept, this change that we're all collectively in. And anytime you have to do that, whether you would like to or not, what it's training you to do is to develop this sort of like surrendering muscle. You get this ability to let go of, and to embrace or accept change. And if we can do that on things that maybe aren't our choice, we can extend that to things that are our choice, to change in ways that are positive, nourishing, that bring joy and light and beauty into our lives and maybe other people's lives as well, whatever that means for you. So, but it's not always comfortable. It's not comfortable. It's not a comfortable process, this change thing. It's definitely uncomfortable when it's beyond our control. And it's also can be at times when it is our choice, it can be beautiful. It can be exciting. It can be, you can feel like $1,000,000 and courageous as you're taking these steps towards what you want in your life. And then other times it can just feel like fear and resistance and delays and procrastination. And sometimes it's watching a whole pile of Netflix or organizing everything in your kitchen or, any other thing that will keep you out of the thing that is going to change you and progress you towards what you want. And I think you really need to just be very, very gentle with all of those feelings. I always think resistance is juicy. So if you're doing something that you know to be positive for yourself and you're feeling resistance, it means you're on the right track. Just before this call, I felt nervous. And I always think, oh, good, something amazing is about to happen. If I'm feeling nervous towards something that is positive and nurturing and soulful, then that definitely means I'm on the right track, because I wouldn't feel that way. I wouldn't feel slight nerves or resistance, or I wouldn't feel it if it had no capacity of changing me or helping others or creating this ripple. So, so listening to those nerves can stop a lot of progress. So we want to caretake the feeling, be caretakers and loving caretakers of our feelings and emotional states, all of them, even the disruptive, chaotic ones, and move through. So, because sometimes vulnerability is part of doing something magical. So, I want to read from a book that I've had resistance to reading, even though I love the author to pieces, to the moon and back. Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. This has been on my shelf. Well, I bought the hardcover, so since it came out, whenever that was. And just recently, I actually received a nice Reiki session from Bia, and to help me move through another layer of my own resistance. And it's magical what happens is you pick up books that you hadn't read in a while. I took a small but emotionally big step a couple of days ago. When you can move through the energy and in whatever way moves energy for you, you get more. You get a whole suite of new opportunities unfold in front of you. But this is a really great book. I just started reading it today. The Big Magic. Creative Living Beyond Fear is the subtitle. And I just want to read a couple of bits from it. I don't think it's going to take me very long to read it now that I've taken a big leap in my own work. So she talks a lot and very beautifully about how fear is part of being courageous, and that taking steps forward and making your creative work, whatever that is, sometimes brings fear along with it. So she writes this little letter. She tells her fear something like this: Dearest fear, creativity Creativity and I are about to go on a road trip together. I understand you'll be joining us because you always do. I acknowledge that you believe you have an important job to do in my life and that you take your job seriously. Apparently, your job is to induce complete panic whenever I'm about to do anything interesting. And may I say, you are superb at your job. So, by all means, keep doing your job if you feel you must. But I will also be doing my job on this road trip, which is to work hard and stay focused. And creativity will be doing its job, which is to remain stimulating and inspiring. There's plenty of room in this vehicle for all of us, so make yourself at home. But understand this, creativity and I are the only ones who will be making any decisions along the way. I recognize and respect that you are part of this family, and so I will never exclude you from our activities. But still, your suggestions will never be followed. You're allowed to have a seat and you're allowed to have a voice, but you're not allowed to have a vote. You're not allowed to touch the roadmaps. You're not allowed to suggest detours. You're not allowed to fiddle with the temperature. Dude, you're not even allowed to touch the radio. But above all else, my dear old familiar friend, you are absolutely forbidden to drive. Then we head off together, me and creativity and fear, side by side by side, forever, advancing once more into the terrifying but marvelous terrain of unknown outcome. Why it's worth it. It isn't always comfortable or easy, carrying your fear around with you on your great, ambitious road trip. I mean, but it's always worth it, because if you can't learn to travel comfortably alongside your fear, then you'll never be able to go anywhere interesting or do anything interesting. And that would be a pity, because your life is short and rare and amazing and miraculous. And you want to do really interesting things and make really interesting things while you're still here. And I know that's what you want for yourself, because that's what I want for myself too. It's what we all want. And you have treasures hidden within you, extraordinary treasures. And so do I. And so does everyone around us. And bringing those treasures to light takes work and faith and focus and courage and hours of devotion. And the clock is ticking and the world is spinning. And we simply do not have the time anymore to think so small. So amazing. So amazing. I've listened to, she's got a podcast as well, for the Big Magic series, and she's written many other beautiful books and works. And as you probably already know her, she's amazing. But yeah, it's just it's so important to not only know that fear and vulnerability are just going to hitchhike along for the ride when you're doing big important things, but that you can have the fear and you can still take the steps, and that it's important to know that sometimes, courage isn't waiting until we have no fear. It's about taking action with the fear, with the emotion. We're doing things that are going to soothe and caretake that emotion, like you would a little scared child, a little 3-year-old. You would just comfort that fear, that emotion, because it's just feeling that because it doesn't know. It's just uncertain. It's just afraid of the unknown. And the unknown is everywhere right now and all around us in every which way. And definitely, if you're going to do anything new, it'll be there too. But that fear is just an inkling. It's just a signal that you're doing something good, something amazing, particularly when it comes to doing things that light you up inside and that make you feel good. And that what I know is that when you show up and you do that work, the fear fades. When you can just get into it and start, that all of a sudden you don't feel fearful anymore. You just feel passionate. And if you can tap into that energy, that will get you going for a good long while. I do want to share my story of just taking of why is this so important to start now, to start maybe before you're ready, start doing the things that light you up inside, that you want to make and create. And it comes from a fairly sad place in my life story. I lost a dear, beautiful, wonderful human. My aunt passed away very suddenly. And then 2 weeks later, an uncle in my family passed away very suddenly. My niece needed open heart surgery. My son got very sick with an intestinal bug. My husband had kidney stones. And that was all in the space of a month. So everything just sort of imploded all at once. And I was beyond the point of coping. Any one of those things would have been enough, but all of them together, which is very reminiscent of everything happening together all at the same time, like now. But all at the time, all of those things happening together just completely swamped my abilities to cope and move through them. And this was before I had started teaching Reiki. I had wanted to teach Reiki, but I just hadn't ever. And I had, this idea of what I wanted to do, and I just hadn't taken action on it. And then all of a sudden, all of these things imploded. And I felt like, if not now, then when? If not now, then when? And what that time taught me was that life is so uncertain. We think we know what's going to happen, or that we can predict it, or that maybe we have time. But with all of those things sort of colliding all at once, I realized that the only time we actually truly have is now. This moment, this beautiful, precious, imperfect, messy, painful, wonderful, glorious moment. It's all of the things all of the time. It's broken, it's whole, it's perfect, it's never going to be right. There's never going to be just that one perfect, bright, beautiful moment that stays forever. Life is constantly uncertain, and it always has been uncertain, and we're really aware of it being uncertain now. But it pushed me into the present moment, because that was the only place I could comfortably be without pain. If I thought about the past, I could only think of all of the things that I had lost, all of the people that I had lost. If I thought about the future too far, I was just couldn't even imagine what was going to happen next. I would get swamped with overwhelm and worry if I got any further than the moment I was in. And I thought, if life is uncertain and we don't know what's going to happen next, what do I want my life to stand for? What do I want to make, create, dream? And for me, the answer was Reiki, these Reiki classes that I created at Luna Holistic, to create this longer class following the chakras that incorporated all the time that I felt like I needed to really dig in and learn the material. And so I could barely do anything, but I could make that first Reiki manual for my courses, which pretty much hasn't been changed since then. I started teaching in 2013. And it's really been this amazing, beautiful ride ever since. And I think that time really taught me that those were not ideal circumstances to do anything. But I found doing something that mattered, that was meaningful, that I longed to do, that I needed to make. I needed to make it, because if not me, then who? And it was something that didn't exist in that format of combining Reiki with all of these other tools and putting it together in this chakra system and this chakra order. That was new. But I wanted to do it, and I had been dreaming about doing it. And so I just started, and I started imperfectly, and I just, with abandon, and I just did it. And what that taught me was that there's this surrender that comes with crisis, that it pushes us into surrender. And when we surrender, and we surrender to something more than the crisis, but the energy of support living underneath it, when you surrender to the heart and the soul, you can do great things. But they start with tiny little steps, writing out one meditation and then another and then another, and putting it together and typing up all of my thoughts and collecting everything. And it took some time, and it, like everything does, but it felt better and it pulled me through. And in the end, I created something that not only changed my life, but has changed other people's lives as well. And it also is so important to, I learned after, that you don't need to wait until the world falls down around your ears to start to do something new. It's okay if that is the catalyst for you, but that you can cultivate surrender through meditation and Reiki and mindfulness. And that when you're in that surrender and listening to the call of your heart, wherever it's pulling you, and take those action steps, even if they're tiny, even if there's no guarantee of results, just doing them because why not? It feels good to make things that feel good, to do the thing that you've always wanted to do. Because if not now, then when? There's never going to be a better moment than now. And now is the only moment that we truly have. Which might seem a little bit sad and depressing, but for some reason it inspires me. So to embrace life as it is, exactly as it is, and not ask life to be better or give me better results so that I will do the thing that I need to do. I'll just show up and I'll do it anyway. And I'll show up in spite of the fear, in spite of whatever is holding me down. I'm going to start repeating lyrics from a Rise Up song. I forget the artist, but so I'll pause there. I'd love to hear from you of what you feel, maybe some of your own experiences with creativity and surrender and taking little tiny steps. And you can type that into the chat. But Bea, I'd love to hear from you. What are your thoughts and feelings?
Yeah. Yeah, you recommended that book to me, I think 2 years ago, and I remember reading it, and it was so magical. It's such a good book. I think something that I find helpful is that with uncertainty, it's like what we can be certain of is that trust within ourselves, that like it's like we know what we need to do and we know what our heart is telling us to do. So I find that that certainty that you find within trusting yourself is really, really helpful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Beautifully said. It's this not surrendering into nothingness or the void, but that there's a voice inside you, a knowingness inside you that's there. And if you listen to those whispers or those shouts inside, it always works out. That's what I find. What do you find that as well? That when you listen to the guidance, it generally is
Yeah,
the right way to go.
I always feel better after. I always know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious, Bia, when you right before you're about to do something important,
Mm-hmm.
what are the mix of feelings you have, and what are the tools that you use to move yourself through it?
It's sorry, it's usually usually like you said, it's resistance and a lot of fear, but I think there's like a certain juiciness to that kind of resistance where like you know that it's gonna get you where you're going if you like sit through and feel through it and just kind of work through it. And then my main tool is always Reiki. I love Reiki so much. And then affirmations, meditation, and then grounding. And like you said, surrendering are all really helpful for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Um, yes. So, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. Um, oh, wonderful. From Mona, I completely agree about surrendering. Going through my personal journey when things were blowing up for me, I have no control over any of it. I chose to surrender, and that's what truly started my journey into Reiki and really opening up to the spiritual world. Surrender is such a beautiful gateway to so many gifts on the other side. Choosing to have trust in the universe when things are not going your way is amazing. It really is. There's a softness that comes from like letting the outer things that have been keeping you stuck. Sometimes life breaks you, but when you break open, and there's this surrendering to the inner that can happen when things are in a state of upheaval. And that inner self is so wise and loving and kind and gentle, and it's really, sometimes crisis teaches us how to go to that inner space, which is what is so remarkable about it. And then once you know the way, you can just go there. You don't need crisis to get into that soft space. You get comfortable in there, and then you start to know or feel, like Via said, that sort of juiciness of the resistance of like, oh, I don't want to do that. So that's probably the thing that is the right thing for me. Or, it's like I had this impulse from deep inside to do something, and then I did it, and then I don't want to shrink back. So I've done this little tango dance with this book many, 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 many times. There was an inspiration to write it, and then I wanted to hide it away, and then I share it, and then I want to hide under the covers. But every time you travel that road, it gets a little bit easier to share the work that you're doing, to share the light in the world. And if you keep leaning in and keep taking those steps, then I always think, I forget where I heard it, but it's like forward is forward. It doesn't matter how small or how big. And really, it's like so much of the things that I've done have been taking one tiny little nibble at a time. And in particular, when things are difficult, like they have been these past couple of months, it's really about being as present as I possibly can, and then taking that the littlest, tiniest step. There have been days when I've been really overwhelmed with the immensity of and the heartbreak of everything that has been happening in the world. And all I can do is just, okay, I'm going to focus on this step in front of me and this step in front of me. And I'm going to open up my laptop and I'm going to push the button, and I break it down into the tiniest little action. Like I'm going to open this file, and then I'm going to type this word, and I'm on this sentence. I'm not on any other thing. I'm just right there in the present moment. And that really anchors me and pulls me through quite a bit. In this book of mine, The Secret Art of Happiness, I have there's a section of the Reiki ideals, or one of the Reiki ideals is to do your work. And in the Reiki tradition, your work is your spiritual work, or your purpose, your self-care and meditation. But it includes everything that is meaningful that your heart yearns for you to do. And I'll just share this little bit before we go on to a longer meditation. Time to get to work. You are absolutely needed in the world right now. Your voice is needed. Your creations are needed. Your energy is needed. You are a powerful creator, and you are already helping the world so much just by being in it. We are all interconnected with each other. When one of us shifts to a more positive place through a few minutes of meditation or other positive focus, we are immediately uplifting the energy around us. We shift the whole universe when we shift. The energy of the universe is naturally healing and loving. When we shift into our healthy and loving selves, we can access the whole power of the universe. One positive thought can counteract hundreds, if not thousands, of negative ones. This positive and loving energy is potent. It doesn't take much to create a huge effect. That's why only a few minutes of meditation a day can create such huge changes nearly instantaneously. With meditation, you can access the power of the universe to bring positive and loving changes in your life. So yeah, and I find that that's the piece that I really work with. I soothe whatever feeling I have with Reiki and meditation, and I move through any of the limiting thoughts and beliefs, and then when I'm in that connected space, then I ask, what do I need to do? What is next? Give me a baby step. And when I take those baby steps, then the outcome is always good. Whatever is coming from that deeper place, not from the mind space. The mind can only see what it can see, what is in front of it and what's concrete. It can't see what's coming, and it can't see the energy of potential, and it can't feel the energy of where you're going. But the heart can. The deep wisdom inside you knows. And even if it's unclear, it's okay. You can splash around and muddle around and move forward and through things. Yes. Thank you. And Kayla says, Yes, the tango dance, exactly how I feel. I struggle surrendering to the perspectives of others when I want to do something. Others' opinions and wisdom stops me from going for it. Like my inner parent won't let me play and explore sometimes. Surrender might provide balance for my latest creative endeavors. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, that sometimes it's the inner critic that stops us, or the fear of the outer critic. But what I find with that, like that voice of the critic, or that sort of even guidance from the external, is that it can't lead you where you need to and want to be. That people can only guide you from what they know and where they're standing. I do have a resource for you that's really good. I wonder if I flagged the page. There's something amazing in this book. There we go. Ha. It's from Ask and It Is Given, Learning to Manifest Your Desires by Esther and Jerry Hicks. Really, really great read. All of their books are fantastic. This is part of this chapter called Only You Can Know How You Feel About You. Others cannot understand your desires or feelings. Others are often eager to guide you. There are endless people with endless opinions, rules, requirements, and suggestions for how you should live your life, but none of them are able to take into consideration the only thing that matters in achieving your desires. Others cannot understand the vibrational content of your desires, and they cannot understand the vibrational content of where you are. So they are not in any way equipped to guide you. Even when they have the very best of intentions and want your absolute well-being, they do not know. And even though many of them attempt to be unselfish, it is never possible for them to separate their desire for you from their own desire for themselves. Which is really, the entire book is fantastic, but that might be a good resource. But yeah, I think of it as like our hearts are like our inner GPS, our inner Google directions, or whatever service you use, and that there's like a magnet in our heart, or a compass, and we may not know exactly what the outcome is going to look like, or even all of the turns along the trip, but we know the next step. It's a feeling, it's a pull, like go here, do this next, then this, then this. And I really feel that people can only give you advice from the context of their own lives. And if they're not living in your skin, in your heart, in your energy, they don't know. They can only tell you where they've been. And what I think is so beautiful about meditation and Reiki is that it helps you tap into where you are at and tune into your own wisdom, which may be to follow somebody's advice, or take a course, or read a book, or it may be to do something completely different. I really love Harry Potter and the whole Harry Potter series. And I think it's in the 5th book, correct me if I'm wrong, the one where Harry Potter is trying to get this information from Professor Slughorn. And he gets this magical potion, Felix Felicium, and he drinks this golden potion, and all of his friends are like, oh, the professor's over here. And he's like, no, I have to go to Hagrid's house. He goes the opposite direction from the very kind, loving guidance of his friends, because something in his heart, this magic within him, is guiding him to where he actually needs to be. And that when we take those steps and we just sort of trust them, as long as they're wise steps and they're not like traipsing you off into dangerous places, that's okay. Like you, as long as it's within your ability and your scope to do, and they make sense for you, then do those steps. It will make sense for you and you'll feel good about it, and then it will take you to the next place that you need to be. And when you get to that next place, you can tune in and you can follow those guidance. I certainly didn't start out knowing that I would be here doing these kinds of things. I just take a step and then I ask, and then I take a step and then I ask, and making sure that I'm not asking my mind or my computer in my head to make the choices, but to let the wisdom of my soul and my heart make those choices. And when I do that, when I listen to my heart and let my heart make the big choices in my life, it always works out for me. Always. 100%. If I let my mind get a hold of things, though, it's like 50-50 whether that's going to work or not. My heart is wise, and it can feel a better choice over a lesser choice. And maybe not all the choices feel great, but you can, even if it's like two choices that you'd rather not have, you can feel the slightly better one. And your heart can also go, is that the only two choices that are on the table? Maybe there's another third option you haven't considered, which the brain can't get to. So the heart can see all of the directions, it's all of the colors, the entire spectrum, and then even more. It's creative. And when we tap into that creative flow, it will really lead us wherever we need to be. So thank you for that question. That's great. Wonderful. Yes, so good. I want to take us on a little magical journey into this, one of my favorite meditations I've written. Most of the things I do are the things that I need, and then I share them with you. So I made this meditation for me, so I hope you like it. It's called the Aura Flame Meditation. And it activates a whole pile of beautiful energy for you to help you get into that clear space. Because I feel like if you want clear guidance, you have to get clear first. And the way I know how to get clear is to run energy through all of my chakras and through my aura, the energy field around my body. And when I do that, then the volume of my knowing gets dialed right up. So we'll do that together. So you can just get cozy, settled in. So take a breath, close your eyes, and gently turn your gaze inward. There's a column of light that rises from the base of your spine. Look for it now. This column of light flows through and around your whole body. Within it, you are safe, supported, and nurtured. Gently sway and move your physical body now to align your seated position so that all parts of you are contained within this pillar of light. This light lifts your chest, opens your shoulders, and balances your head neatly and efficiently at the top of your spine. Allow this light to move and support your sitting position throughout this meditation so that you may use minimal effort to stay seated with ease and grace. Allow the light to take over the business of your sitting so you can breathe easily and gently, relax and receive. hand this tiny task over to the divine essence within you. Wonderful. Now gently turn your gaze toward your root chakra at the base of your spine. Within your root is a bright red flame, a ball of light, an energy source connected to the core reason for your incarnation. This red flame is bright, vibrant, and warm, though still cool to the touch. It glows steady and clear with the deep knowledge of your reason for being on this earth. Every step you have taken is contained within this beautiful red light. Allow this root chakra energy to glow brightly. Now allow your whole column of light to be illuminated with this bright, vibrant red energy. Let the red flame fill and wash over your whole body. Surrender all you don't need to the safety of the red ray. You are safe. Now turn your gaze to the sacral chakra. Within your sacral chakra is a bright orange flame, a ball of light, an energy source connected to your core source of creativity, abundance, joy, and passion. This orange flame is bright, vibrant, and warm. It glows steady and clear with the deep knowledge of your value. You are valuable. Your creations are valuable. Your pleasure and joy are immensely valuable. You uplift the entire universe every time you laugh. Allow the sacral chakra energy to glow brightly. Now allow your whole column of light to be illuminated with this vibrant orange energy. Let the orange flame fill and wash over your body. Surrender all you don't need to the safety of the orange ray. You are valuable. Now turn your gaze to your solar plexus chakra in your belly. Within your solar plexus chakra is a bright yellow flame, a ball of light, an energy source connected to your power, strength, and individuality. Your true spiritual spark of divinity is contained within this bright yellow flame. This yellow flame is bright, vibrant, and warm. It glows steady and clear with the deep knowledge that you are part of the universe, the divine knowing and knower all in one. You and God are one. You are brilliant. You are strong. You are free to be your true divine self, to be an illuminator, teacher, prophet, sage, uplifter, creator, leader, guide. Your wisdom shines out from you now, illuminating the whole world. Allow the solar plexus chakra energy to glow brightly. Now allow your whole column of light to be illuminated with this vibrant yellow energy. Let the yellow flame fill and wash over your body. Surrender all you don't need to the safety of the yellow ray. You are strong. You are free. You shine. Now turn your gaze to your heart chakra. Within your heart chakra is a bright green flame, a ball of light, an energy source connected to your deep well of love, compassion, and kindness for yourself and others. This green flame is bright, vibrant, and warm. It glows steady and clear with the deep knowledge of how much you are loved, completely and fully by the divine itself. God loves you. Mother Goddess loves you. You are loved. I love you. Because you are so loved, you are love. A deep spark of divine, complete love in the world, a source of wisdom and loving kindness to humankind. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you. Allow this heart chakra energy to glow brightly. Now allow your whole column of light to be illuminated with this vibrant green energy. Let the green flame fill and wash over your body. Surrender all you don't need to the safety of the green ray. You are loved. You are loving. You are lovable. You are love. Thank you. Now turn your gaze to your throat chakra. Within your throat chakra is a bright, light blue flame, a ball of light, an energy source connected to your honesty, your truth, your voice, the divine expression that only you can bring to the world from your own unique and needed perspective. This light blue flame is bright, vibrant, and warm. It glows steady and clear with the deep knowledge of the need for your words to ring their truth on the bell of the universe. The universe craves your expression, your knowledge, your wisdom now. You are free to speak, to sing, to show up, to write, to express the wisdom of your heart and mind. Only you can bring these works to the world. We are listening. You are needed. Allow this throat chakra energy to glow brightly. Now allow your whole column of light to be illuminated with this vibrant blue energy. Let the light blue flame fill and wash over your body. Surrender all you don't need to the safety of the blue ray. You are truthful. You speak up. You express yourself freely and with ease. Now turn your gaze to your third eye chakra at your brow. Within your third eye chakra is a bright indigo flame, a ball of light, an energy source connected to your infinite source of wisdom and insight. Your deep knowing from all of your lifetimes and beyond exists within this deep indigo flame. This indigo flame is bright, vibrant, and warm. It glows steady and clear with the deep knowledge of your clear insight and divine perspective. You can see things through the eyes of Source. The whole awareness of the universe is available to you whenever you ask. Access your divine wisdom now. You know. You have always known. You are the knowledge and the knower all in one. Ask and you shall receive. Allow this third eye chakra energy to glow brightly. Now allow your whole column of light to be illuminated with this vibrant indigo energy. Let the indigo flame fill and wash over your body. Surrender all you don't need to the safety of the indigo ray. You are intuitive. It is safe to know and to hear and to see. Now turn your gaze to your crown chakra at the top of your head. Within your crown chakra is a bright violet flame, a ball of light, an energy source connected to your infinite self, your divine inner wise being, and the you of your physical body unite here in the safety of the violet flame. This violet flame is bright, vibrant, and warm. It glows steady and clear with the deep knowledge of your spiritual self as an inseparable part of God. You are source energy. You are divine. You are. At your crown, you are no different from God. You are a part of one glorious whole. You've reached unity consciousness, where there's no difference between thought and form. It is all just energy, and you are part of it, just as I am, and every living and non-living thing is also part of the seamless fabric of reality. All is one. You are all. It is all in you. Allow this crown chakra energy to glow brightly. Now allow your whole column of light to be illuminated with this vibrant violet energy. Let the violet flame fill and wash over your body. Surrender all you don't need to the safety of the violet ray. You are connected to source energy. Breathe into your physical body. Become aware of your arms. Become aware of your legs. Become aware of your fingers. Become aware of your toes. Become aware of the earth. Become aware of the earth below you supporting you on your journey. Breathe deeply, breathe fully, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes, alert, awake, and present. Ah, there you go. So wonderful. Thank you. I'd love to hear what you experienced in that meditation. I definitely felt, as I often do lately, just like the energy is almost sparkly or tingly as things start to settle in, and it's almost like a light just sort of melting all the way through me. It makes me feel very settled and connected and calm, so calm and peaceful and clear. That's what I experienced. But Bia, are you there? Did I drift you off to sleep?
Almost. Oh, that was so nice.
Yeah, what did you experience?
Yeah, that was super cool. I really like the idea of like using flames in the chakras because it's almost like they really gently kind of burn away all the unnecessary energy. And then I've noticed, I know you've done this in a few other podcasts too, where you envision a rainbow aura. And I always like at the solar plexus, you always really emphasize taking up space and like letting your light really shine. And then the same thing at your throat chakra, like letting yourself be seen and express yourself to take up space.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like, I had this thought that it's just so nice that there's like a safety to living in compassion. And there's a safety that like when you have the intention of being compassionate in day-to-day life, it's like if anyone isn't supporting you or being respectful to you when you're in that space, then it's like, you know, they're not your people. So it's like, it's safe to take up space when you're compassionate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's that I think when you're in that expanded whole, like living in that vibrant space, you you drop into that compassionate awareness, and it's that live and let live energy. Like you can be bright and
Yeah.
shiny, and I can be bright and shiny, and we can be different and have different ideas
Yeah.
about things, and we can respect each other without needing to adapt or adopt your way for my way. So we
Right.
can just be part of the spectrum of humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked and at the aura that kind of ties in. You just said everything is energy, and I thought that was the most beautiful comment ever. Just like it's so simple.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Yeah.
You think about it like that.
Yeah, it's just this. I always think of it as this: like, there's a point where you sort of dissolve, but you're still there. You can feel yourself, but then like the borders spread out a little bit, and in a beautiful yet safe way. It's hard to describe these things, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I love that. Like the safety and compassion, how you said that. That was really poignant. I love that. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Mhm. Listener, uh, Daniela, sparkly, this is the word. Yes, very sparkly meditation. Kayla says, the energy at my crown was amazing, so powerful, so restful. And yes, the sacral is so good too. Wonderful. Thank you. And Kyla or Kayla, I'm not sure, maybe another Kayla, um, realized how much stuck energy was in three specific chakras that made me really emotional and needing to release. Wow, needed that. And know I needed to continue doing this so I can feel more of what you guys are feeling at this point. Wonderful. That's lovely. Yes. Um, yeah, I think it's like the meditation and the work is really a skill set, and you get better at it the more you do it. So you end up cultivating this inner awareness of how you're feeling, and every time you dive into that sort of meditative state, it carries you into this deeper frequency that brings all kinds of information, but also helps you clear and release anything that isn't serving you, that just lets you dissolve it all. So, and thank you for you, and thank you for everybody who's joining as well. Um, One of the things that I do is I use the chakra system for everything I make, everything I build. It's a system that's ancient. It comes from the yogic philosophies, over 5,000 years old, from India. And it's really been woven into so many of the New Age, if you want to call them that, New Age, Old Age, spiritual traditions, and as well as Reiki. It's a system for explaining and knowing how the energy is moving through the body, through the chakra system. And the chakra system is a roadmap for how the energy moves within the body and supports the physical and emotional bodies. And it's also this ancient blueprint to make anything, because you need all of those pieces of the puzzle to make something that's whole, that's stable, that's sustainable, so that it can nurture you and support you. And that's what I do when I build all of the products and services and my business at Luna Holistic. Of I really think about all of the ways that the chakras come into play with anything that I'm making and sharing with the world. And I support other people through this Energetic 8 business coaching and business mentoring that I do online. And I've just made this free introductory course called Magnetic Manifesting with the Energetic 8. And you can find that course on the lunaholistic.com resources page. It's totally free, and it guides you through a really nice little quick burst of how you can use the chakras to make or create anything. So it's geared for people who are in a business, but it's really, if you've got any creative endeavor at all, writing a book, a novel, screenplay, anything that you are actively engaged in to bring into the world, it's worth a shot to take a look at that. And over the next couple of weeks, I'll also be bringing you the pilot version, which is the very custom. We'll be building it much like these one-on-ones. We'll be building this Energetic 8 Business School course, which it will be a much more in-depth overview of all of the work that I've been doing to mentor other people as they're creating their creative dreams, and really sharing all of the little strategies, tips, tricks, and tools that I use to get the ego mind out of the way, get the fear out of the way, so that I can sit down and get the work done, and to have those tools to tap into that deep, soulful place so that you're making the best decisions for your life and for your business and your creative projects as you can. So yes, you can find that on the lunaholistic.com. If you go to /resources, at the bottom of the resources page is the link to the Magnetic Manifesting with the Energetic 8 course, and that will sort of take you there. And then as soon as the Energetic 8 Business School is up, I will also be sharing that with you. So do make sure that you're on the lunaholistic.com mailing list, and I can send you an email when I create all of these little doodads that can support you as you're going along. And figured I'm doing all this work to activate all of the light workers and take action. I will also support you in, okay, now that I'm taking action, it's scary out here. Like, yeah, it is. That's leaning into that vulnerable expansion is part of it, and getting, it's sort of like sort of riding the wave of the, if you surf or do anything that requires a little bit of risk, a little bit of balance. You have to, there's this balance of paddling out, of putting effort in, mindful effort, and paddling in the right direction, hopping up on the board and balancing, and then letting the miracle process of manifestation take over to take you on this brilliant, beautiful ride. So, and that's a big part of all of the things that I do to support you. So thank you, everybody. I'm so pleased that you are all here. Thank you so very much for shining your beautiful light in the world, for being the unique spark of humanity that you are, and being willing to share that compassion and courage with the world in whatever way is meaningful for you. Just doing one tiny little joyful thing, who knows where that will lead you. Joy is a result, that it's a destination all on its own. And if you follow the joy, if you follow that spark in your heart, the creativity, the passion, the things that light you up, that will lead you exactly where you need to be. Thank you. And thank you so much, Bia, for being here. Bia, did you have any final thoughts or anything you'd like to share before we close?
Oh, I just feel great right now. Thank you for doing this and letting me be a part of it. I'm just so zen.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yay. So glad. I'm so glad. Thank you. Thank you for being here, because it is big, brave, soulful work, and I get nervous, and it's nice to have a buddy. But just like at the beginning, as soon as I get into it, as soon as I get called and just start doing, I feel amazing. Like I could keep going for 5 million more hours, because I've tapped into the energy of expansion and joy and purpose, and that soothes a whole pile of uncertainty, change, fear, worry, all of it. When I'm in this connected space, then I know that I'm on the right track. So thank you so very much. Thank you, everybody. I like to close with a global hug. So we'll just hug everybody that's here. Thank you so much. I love hugs. It's my love language. And you can just expand that hug out to hug the whole world, just sending absolute love and gratitude to the globe, to this beautiful planet that we get to be here on right now together, and feel that hug back. So nice. And thank you so much. This is posted on the lunaholistic.com blog, as are many of the other resources and tools. You can find them all on there. And thank you again so much for being here, and keep shining your beautiful, brave light in the world. Thanks, everybody. Goodbye.